Welcome to the best 5 minutes. Hey, Kendall.
Hi, Max.
So, it's the day after 4th of July. How was your July 4th, friend?
I don't know how to answer that. I'm just kidding. It was great. I went and saw Spider-Man, hung out with my bestest friend. It was a good day. It rained, and then I saw fireworks.
You went and you watched Spider-Man hang out with your friend?
No. I watched Spider-Man while hanging out with my best friend.
Okay, makes more sense now.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm better now.
You better be. You better be better, Max.
Nice.
Or else I'm going to send the better police after you.
All right. So, we bring sad news today.
Yeah. Like a few days ago, a dear, well, I mean, technically I wasn't like friends with him, but, you know, I watched him all my childhood, and he was a really cool guy. Andy Griffith passed away a few days ago, and just wanted to,
Yeah.
you know,
Sad.
since this is our nostalgia night, we're talking about all the nostalgia, that we'd bring that up first. So.
And, Andy Griffith, I remember watching that on TV Land, or actually, it was one of those shows that would air on any channel it wanted.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it was just, it was that good.
I don't think that there's ever been characters better, than like those first black and white years of Andy Griffith.
Yeah.
Any TV characters have been better than that since. There have been few and far between. So, it's sad to say that, but we have fond memories of that, which kind of, as Kendall said, brought us on to talking about nostalgia our own selves growing up in the 90s.
Oh, yeah. Best time to grow up.
Whatever. And,
Hey, man. Hey.
I don't know,
Hey, y'all. I'm sorry, what?
did what we could with it.
Yeah, we made the best with what we had.
The fact is that 90s kids had Jurassic Park.
And we also had boy bands roaming the earth.
I was too young to like music yet.
That kind of music.
I'm still too young to like that kind of music. Moving on, we were talking about the specific triggers and shit that would bring back memories, and one of them, I don't know, where'd you want to start? Did you want to start in a category with an object, or?
Let's start with, like, TV shows, man.
Okay. You go first.
Okay. Well, back in the 90s, like, Nickelodeon was just blossoming. Cartoon Network was blossoming. And Disney Channel was also blossoming. I mean, that was like my shit, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I remember the first time we had cable, and, like, my whole life changed after that. It was just like, what is this,
I remember, this came a little later, but I think it was Disney Channel did Disney Science or something like that, and it was a whole channel just for Disney Science. And that was like where you'd find Bill Nye and all that.
Oh, Bill Nye, the Science Guy.
Tasty.
Bill Nye, Science Guy.
Science rules!
Bill Nye, the Science Guy. That, he inspired me to, like, it's because of him, Dr. Bill Nye, that I love science today, and NASA and space things.
And then there was, also like, on the same channel was Henry's Amazing Animals.
Henry, Amazing Animals. He's got facts and a whole lot more. He's Henry.
He really did. He taught me a lot about nature and shit. So that's in Theodore the Tugboat.
Oh,
Well, I don't even remember what that was. That had to be PBS.
that was PPS.
Yeah. What else was on that channel?
Frickin' Thomas the Tank Engine, like
Thomas.
my childhood.
And the sheep. What was the sheep's name?
Lamb chop, pork chop, lamb chop.
Lamb chop.
The puppet, the creepy ass puppet.
Right.
Do, 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 do.
Reading Rainbow.
Reading Rainbow.
Now,
It's in a book.
Kendall here met LeVar Burton. LeVar. Jesus.
I've met him like twice.
So
Phonics Comic-Con.
What'd you have to say to him?
I don't remember. I said, hey, can you sign this right here, LeVar? And he said, sure. And then I gave him the pen, And then he said, "Hey, this is a nice pen." I said, "Oh yeah, it's my friend's. It's really smooth." And he's like, "Yeah." Then he chuckled, and then he gave me a warm smile and handed me back the picture, and I kind of like peed my pants and giggled and ran away.
He's your Beatle.
Yeah, he's one of my Beatles. He's like my Paul McCartney.
McCartney.
No, McCartney. Sorry.
It's okay. I got LeVar wrong. So
It's okay.
it's karma. Karma. Oh yeah.
And then what else was on PBS? Oh, Arthur.
Oh Jesus. That was like Hey Arnold, except it made you feel even worse.
Rabbits and shit. Because then you felt bad for like the lesser animals.
Yeah.
Because that show taught me how to discriminate.
This is what I remember this most from Arthur. Is like, you remember the cup of noodles?
Yes.
Obviously, they're still very popular today. You know, you just put them in, put boiling water in there. You have a cup of fucking noodles. It's amazing. Mm-hmm. I remember eating those watching Arthur when I was little for some reason. The specific episode I remember is the one where they're in the haunted house.
Yeah.
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 I remember I had Arthur books too.
Oh.
Like the Scholastic.
Oh, Scholastic was so big.
Yeah.
Back then.
And Franklin and all that shit.
Fuck Franklin, that dumbass turtle.
He never did shit for me.
Fuck. If I met Franklin, I'd headbutt him.
And do you remember Rupert?
Rupert. I remember
Little Bear?
Yeah, I remember Little Bear too. Little Bear was also a cunt. Hated Little Bear. Freaking, like, I'd be watching my cartoons, Little Bear comes on, I'm like, this nigga better shut the fuck up. I swear to God.
I remember he was trying to boink that female girl, like the human. Yeah. Like,
dude, Clifford, PBS, Clifford. Oh, Magic School Bus.
More or less. Not so much me there. I don't think I've ever sat through an entire Magic School. I've seen a lot of them, but I've never really sat through a whole show, beginning to end. Other than maybe like a dinosaur episode. You know.
Who was that guy? What was it? Like, he would always introduce himself as the job title, and then his name was Dave. You know?
Say that again?
He would introduce himself like as a job title, like, "Oh, I'm Firefighter Dave. I'm Engineer Dave."
It was Jim.
Oh.
It was Jim, and that was like the he would do and he had like a sidekick named Becky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Deputy Dave, and I'm Deputy Becky. Yeah.
Yeah, and they would do like trucks or airplanes,
trains, airplanes, police cars, boats. Oh,
yeah.
Man.
Yeah. And like construction equipment. And
oh, yeah. I shouldn't have done that.
I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember that shit.
He'd fuck up and say, I shouldn't have done that. And then everybody would laugh. But secretly, you're like, he fucked up.
He's boinking Becky.
You know he was. That's the only reason why she was on the show.
He's slamming that shit sideways.
I wonder if Dave, I'm pregnant. I shouldn't have done that.
I remember those VHSs were the ones that you could get, and you get like a little Matchbox car with them.
Yeah, that's how they sold that crap.
Oh, I know, man.
Like the construction one, you get the little backhoe.
Yeah, and the truck, you obviously get like a dump truck or something. I also remember at the beginning of those videos, they would have that chalk write out the name of the company. And yeah.
And there was like that company produced several other shows that I used to watch too.
Yeah.
Oh man. We're still on the PBS. We haven't even got to like Nickelodeon with like, Rocko's Modern Life, Angry Beavers, Pinky and the Brain. Oh, was that? No, that was Warner Brothers cartoon channel, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was Warner Brothers.
Oh, and they had Pictionary on that channel too.
Yeah.
And then there was like the old Aladdin all the old Disney cartoons like Aladdin, Darkwing Duck, Bonkers, I think it was called.
I'm not sure.
Tailspin, Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. I mean, I realized that was 80s, but
I remember that.
I watched that when I was a kid, and I thought that was the coolest thing ever.
I remember Katie and Orby from Disney Channel cartoons.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why I remember that so prominently. I must have watched that a lot or something. I remember Katie's mom was freaking hot.
Katie's mom has got it going on. This is fun. I like this.
I remember Dinosaurs from Disney.
Yeah, oh man, those puppets were so good.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I realized there were people in suits, but there was people working the lips and the eyes, and they got it down really cool.
Yeah. It was also, I realized that it was kind of creepy, like the dinosaur show. Kind of creepy, kind of weird, and almost not grounded enough in reality to like it. But because they were dinosaurs, you liked it. Yeah. I also remembered an episode where they had a little like infant dinosaur in the family, right?
Yeah, he was always in the high chair.
Yeah, and I remember an episode where they like went to hell or something. Remember that?
Yeah.
The grandmother was dying or something, and he went through hell or something like that. Oh man, so weird. Ooh, lordy. Anyway, that's I don't know. You watched like Winnie the Pooh and that kind of crap.
Well, because it was on Disney Channel, and like one of my first VHSs was Sleepy Hollow with Ichabod Crane, and then it was a twofer because the VHSs, like if the movie was short enough, they'd put 2 movies on one VHS.
Yeah.
I know some of our younger viewers don't even know what we're talking about.
They were film reels in your hand.
Yeah, just like cassettes.
What?
And so I had Winnie the Pooh, and the Blustery Day and Ichabod Crane, and that was the shit for me.
Yeah.
Mickey's Christmas Carol.
Oh yeah. I had Garfield, like the Garfield Christmas.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that was so much 90s though. I just had that.
Yeah. I mean, I had a lot of Peanuts stuff, but that wasn't really 90s.
Yeah, that came out way before.
Yeah, but it's just when you're a kid, you go through a phase where you're like, Peanuts, that's my stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Still, I watch Great Pumpkin every year.
Oh yeah, me too. It's like kind of like a ritual thing I kind of do.
Yeah.
Just like every summer, I shed my skin, and oh, I mean what?
Speaking of that, do you remember this kind of getting into the movies now, but in Ace Ventura 2, when he slithers naked out of the rhinoceros?
Yeah.
That was funny. Holy shit.
I convinced my mom to go see that movie with me.
Yeah.
I don't know what possessed me to do that.
Oh, man. Anyway. My mom, I love to watch that movie with my mom.
My mom forced me to walk out of the theater after that part.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, my mom's always let me watch it with her. Even when I was little, it's like, oh, we got it. Mm-hmm. I think it was too. I don't remember watching movies like Pulp Fiction or anything like that when I was little. That was beyond me.
I don't want my kids watching that.
Yeah. I actually remember. I remember a faint memory of a scene from Pulp Fiction from being little. Later, when I watched it, I realized that's what it was from. Mm-hmm. So I must have walked through the room or something during that scene. But, for me in the 90s, I mentioned this before, I cannot state enough how much Jurassic Park defined the 90s for me.
Yeah, a lot of kids. Jurassic Park and Star Wars was my stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely. And because I was 2 years old, 1.5-ish, when the first Jurassic Park came out. Mm-hmm. And those were some of my first toys. Because that was back in the day when a movie came out. First of all, it was in theaters forever.
Yeah.
And then when they
Titanic was in the theaters for like a year.
Oh, I know. And then when they printed it on to VHS or, home format.
They would flood Toys R Us with the toys.
Yeah, and then that would take 2 years to just, print it out. And, so stuff was around a lot. It's not like, today when they release a movie, they have the toys out for like 3 months and then they pull them again.
Yeah, because another movie's already replacing it.
Yeah. This is when it would all stick around forever. And then the sequel will come out.
The freaking the T-Rexes with the remote controls.
I had a few of them.
I had a few of those too. Those were badass, man.
Yeah.
I'd build a Lincoln log fort and have it go destroy it.
Yeah.
The batteries get low and I get pissed off.
Yeah. I remember being at Walmart when I was little. Well, probably about 4 or 5. And I loved Jurassic Park, and then I went through the toy section and I saw a Jurassic Park toy for the first time, like seeing it,
Yeah.
And it was for the Lost World that hadn't come out yet because the toy comes out before the movie, right? He's like, I know what my life's gonna be for 3 years, right there at that moment, And sure enough, everything was the Lost World Jurassic Park for years and years to come.
Mm-hmm.
Just the craze that followed, and it wasn't me, It was every kid in school had the lunch boxes or the toys and all that. It's ridiculous. So and then let's get into toys. You remember different things than me because I think I was so dominated. So dominated.
Well, I mean,
by
those
Park.
plastic lightsabers. Me and my friends would beat the holy shit out of each other. I mean, we had monster welts by the end of the day, but that was so much fun. Oh man. Although
Nice.
I'd always see, and I always played with the blaster because I didn't want to be a Jedi. I wanted to be Han Solo or an X-wing pilot. So they would beat me up first because I couldn't defend myself. I'd be like, pew pew, you're dead. Oh, I'm a Jedi. I deflected it. I'd be like, bullshit, and they kicked the crap out of me.
It's like that Han Solo is bullshit. You should be dead.
I shoot first. I'm Han Solo. You can't do that.
No wonder they froze him. I remember I was little. I made a Han Solo vest out of construction paper.
Badass.
Oh man, I love that. I loved Han Solo. I think Han Solo was always my favorite.
Yeah.
Because you like Luke, but
Luke's a bitch.
Luke's almost beyond. Because he's like he has this higher power and this higher realization, and
Yeah, you can't really relate to him because it's like,
Yeah.
well, I don't have a manifest destiny with superpowers. Okay, Mark
Yeah.
Hamill.
But then there's Harrison Ford comes in. He's like, I want my money and women. I have a black friend. We fly around in ships together. It's like that's my guy right there.
We gamble and stuff.
I'm imperfect. That makes me perfect.
Basically, yeah. The
Yeah.
hero with the golden heart.
And the hair.
Yeah, he had fabulous hair throughout the
Oh
Star
man,
Wars
great
series.
hair. I remember the one scene in Return of the Jedi. He goes to sneak up on the stormtrooper,
Mm-hmm.
and he steps on the twig, and he's more surprised than the stormtrooper. Oh!
Stormtrooper's just like, hey man. He's like, oh.
Oh, Han.
And sometimes my friends would be too poor ass to have the actual hand blasters, so I'd have to use one of their super soakers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And they didn't have any of the cool ones. Like I remember, Super Soaker used to make these giant ones that you had to use a bipod with. It was basically like a flamethrower looking device.
Yeah.
You hooked it up to your hose, and you just like, freaking, you went riot squad on your friends with that thing.
I remember those. I do remember those.
Those were BA, dude.
I had it was like the dual tank.
Oh yeah.
And it was so impractical because it was top heavy. And you'd fill it up all the way, and it was so heavy you could barely move. But it was 2 tanks, so you had twice the ammo.
Yeah.
Which doesn't mean shit when you can't move.
But you felt you felt like Rambo, really. You felt like Arnold Schwarzenegger, like, come at me, bro. You can't handle this justice in my hand.
Flank them on the upside.
Get down.
Get down. No!
Prepare to be liquidated. That sounds like an Arnold one-liner.
Kinda, yeah. Like he would vaporize a guy after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened to Artie? He got liquidated.
First. I don't know. Anyway, that's sort of that.
Yeah.
And then they had Nerf, obviously.
Yeah, Nerf. Nerf
One
is
of
good.
the first Nerf gun I got, I went to a kid's house, and he had this cool blue Nerf rifle.
And you stole it.
No. That was before them days.
This is mine now.
This is and he had this Nerf gun, and you flip down like the stock grip, and you flip it down, it detached, and then like the butt would spring out and the barrel would lengthen up, like all spring loaded, right?
Yeah.
And then you slam like a cartridge in there, and then you put the foregrip back up, and it's like a sniper rifle now, and it had a scope and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you wanted to go short range, you just compact it all down and you shoot it in short range,
It seems like a lot of shit to do just to shoot a dart at your dick friend.
Oh, man, it looks so cool, though.
Oh, yeah.
And then I remember I made one of my parents go and get it for me, and I had it. And I fucking cherished that thing.
I remember I'd go like to Knott's Berry Farm or Disneyland and get those realistic-looking toy guns with the orange caps at the end.
Oh, I had a bunch of them.
Yeah, and then they started to paint them like green and red and gay-ass colors so cops wouldn't think kids were playing with real guns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got one once at Disneyland, and the train ride, obviously.
Yeah, of course. It's like my shit.
Somewhere around the dinosaur area, I dropped the gun.
Oh.
And it went, and it was sprawled out, and I tripped the lady as she was trying to get up and move, because she tripped on the gun. I didn't give no shit. I was 8 years old.
I want my gun. Yeah, I had.
Get off my shit!
I know when you're a kid, it's like a toy is more valuable than a human's life.
Exactly. That's just some lady to me.
Dude, freaking like, I got a Davy Crockett like flintlock rifle, and then from Knott's, I got a really bitchin' 30-30 repeater.
Oh, Knott's had the best ones.
Yeah, because they had the working lever and everything.
Yeah.
Those things were so bitchin'.
And
awesome. Then they made like the double barrel shotguns. And then they made the sawed off double barrel shotguns. And that's about the time they started to paint them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I remember getting them at like Cracker Barrels. Like there was a time where you could find those cool guns at Cracker Barrels.
Yeah, but probably the same problem plagued them and they stopped selling them because of it.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, freaking kids. Just don't point guns at people. Except for your friends.
For your friends, or we all have seen Die Hard. We know Al had to shoot a kid because he had a toy gun.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
I remember that was a whole scene.
Yeah, it was.
Al brought it down to real land there for about 5 minutes as he told John McClane that.
Yeah, it kind of like made the whole film peter out for a little while.
Yeah, they brought that sumbitch to a stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Character! Man. Boom! Oh, man.
Yeah. But, those toy guns were the best. Man, they don't make shit like that no more.
Nope.
And then they had, my Matchboxes. My friends were jealous of my Matchbox collection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember the Modisto, like 124 scale cars.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I love those. They were bigger than Matchbox, obviously. But
they had actual rubber on the tires and shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the ones.
Yeah, the doors would open and all that?
Yeah, and they were like twice the price as a Matchbox set.
Yeah.
But they were so worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I had my room all decorated in cars, and then I realized I didn't like cars anymore.
Now I'm maturing now. Now I like Star Wars.
No, I'm pretty sure I'm into man love with Han Solo.
Because I'm older now and I get it.
I understand what it is to go out with Han Solo.
As a child, I liked cars and engines and shit. Now as a man, I like Han Solo. It's kind of true for us.
It is. My parents always questioned why I had a large poster of Han Solo above my bed.
Is it still there?
No, I lost it when we moved to Kingman. It really bummed me out.
I seem to remember a Johnny Depp poster in your room at one point.
I might have had I think I might have had a Pirates of the Caribbean poster up here.
Yeah.
Now I have Indiana Jones posters everywhere. And one Next Generation poster.
Oh, see, you're just a bunch of great men in your room right now.
Yeah, because I sent you all my Kirk posters.
Oh, and I appreciate them, by the way.
I know you do.
Those are huge. I can wallpaper my room with those.
And I got them for free. That's the best part. Free swag.
Nice. Ooh.
What else was big on me? Like my Matchboxes and the city rugs and playing Godzilla and war with those.
Yeah.
Oh, Army Men. I can't find Army Men anymore.
You can't get them in the buckets. You got to go to like a Toys R Us, or you got to get them in the little packs now.
That's so dumb. Like when I was a kid, you'd buy the bucket and there would be like one tank, 2 flags, some barbed wire, and an airplane. You know?
Yeah.
And you were just like set.
Oh man, that was entertainment for a day.
Yeah, and then you
Weak.
get then you get the cowboys and Indians, and the army would show up to like overpower the Indians.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and Arizona, when it would rain or something, the dirt would get soft.
yeah.
And you could dig out terrain for them and shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and you have the cars out there, and then you make them drive little cars around in the dirt and all that.
Well, see, yeah. I didn't do that because we grew up in an area that was dominated by sidewalk, so I had sidewalk to play with.
So you just beat fuckers up.
No, I rode my Razor like a boss everywhere. Because at that time I couldn't ride a bike, so I rode a Razor to hang out with my friends.
Right.
Because it was a cool thing to do. And then I finally learned how to ride a bike, and then my friends were like, "Oh no, we like Razors now too."
Oh.
True story.
I had a Razor, but I don't think I ever used it. I think I honestly probably rode it around the house on Christmas.
And there were like people beating each other in the mall for those things.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, it was insane.
Who loaded? Who? Yeah, I remember those. And their whole deal was that they could fold up and you could put them in backpacks and shit.
Yeah, but they weren't that. They were still very cumbersome.
Yeah, they were heavy.
Oh, and then like you would flip them around and hit your ankle. Oh fuck, that
Ooh.
would hurt. God,
Ooh.
that would hurt so much.
Or you'd just be going down a slight hill and you'd eat shit.
Yeah, because you're front heavy.
And then, like, if you let go of the handlebars, they didn't have a stop. They just spun around.
Yeah,
You'd lose traction. You'd flip and die.
that happened to me once.
See?
Oh, and the brake system, you use your foot to like press
Just
down
push
on the back
little
tire.
Oh.
Yeah, and it would grind the back tire down. And they use skateboard type wheels or whatever. No, rollerblade wheels. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Which rollerblades were phased out by that time, so they were really expensive to get.
Yeah.
I'd have to go like to Hobby Town to get the cheaper ones.
Hell is Hobby Town.
Hobby Town is a store that sold like model planes and shit, and also some weird like bike equipment, just because they could.
Whew.
Yeah, that's where I bought like those little racing stock cars.
Right.
Yeah, those were fun for a while.
Oh,
Until I got my ass kicked.
I got some nostalgia for you. What were the little cars that were meant for little kids? Were they Power Wheels?
Yeah, I think
Like the
they
little
were.
Jeeps and stuff?
Yeah, I had like a Ford F-150.
Yeah, I had a yellow Jeep.
I never could get a Jeep. I'd always tell my mom, I want a Jeep. Yeah,
Yeah.
made by Fisher Price. Yeah, they were
Yeah.
Power Wheels.
Yeah.
My mom never got me the Jeep. I don't think
Yeah.
I ever forgave her for that. Thank you for reminding me of my grudge against my mother.
I remember I had a yellow Jeep and the doors would open and everything. Oh, so cool. And then Kevin had a red Jeep. And he would try to steal my doors because his didn't have doors. And it's funny because we were 13 years old at the time. We didn't use them anymore.
Just give me your fucking doors.
No!
Max, give me the doors.
It's my Jeep!
Oh, man.
Then he'd go and hit animals with his lightsaber. So, yeah.
Oh, like a truly sadistic kid would.
I don't know how many of my toys he broke. Millions?
I mean, there's still your creepy shed behind your house. It's full of toys.
Full of toys, yeah. Probably a lot of those have been damaged by Kevin at one point.
Or the elements. There's like 3 dead cats in there, by the way.
Thanks.
I stopped by
know,
the other.
You showed me when I visited.
Well, I stopped by the other day just to check on the place.
Yeah.
And there's like, yeah, it's getting bad in there.
Why do they go in there to die?
Because they find the treasure and they can't give it up.
They're greedy, I see.
Yes.
I don't know. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about?
Denver, the last dinosaur.
You know what? I'm going to push that to another episode because this is a half hour. We got to have our bad cartoon episode.
God. Okay, good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, Star Wars and Disney and Jurassic Park and Air Hogs and Razors, Space Jam, Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Tamagotchis and
All that
Reading
shit.
Rainbow, Steve Irwin, and
Yeah. Oh, man.
Pokemon and Pinky and the Brain and Walkman and Moon Shoes and those board games. Oh, board games were so epic in the 90s.
Yeah.
Crossfire!
Crossfire! Don't
Get caught in the
Crossfire!
And then like Hungry Hippos, do 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 do.
Yeah, I remember.
And
that.
then like
What was the game where the commercial? It was the dad, it was the dad or the kids or something, and you had to sneak.
I don't remember it, but
he had like a nightcap on and everything.
And he was sleeping, yeah.
Yeah. Don't wake Daddy.
Yeah, don't wake Daddy.
Oh.
Don't wake Daddy.
Yep.
Or something like that.
Yep. I remember that.
Mousetrap was a fun game.
Yeah, I like Mouse. You never played it the way it was meant to be played.
No, because
you just
who
built
the fuck could figure those out? Yeah.
Yeah, you just built the thing and made it go. Like there were actually rules to it.
Yeah, like I never played the game of life. Like if there was rules to it. No.
Yeah, I didn't do that shit.
Yeah.
Then like, I don't know. I can't really say any much more than that.
Well, there's much more, but we're kind of making this one long, so I think we'll just cut it.
Look happy.
I am looking happy.
I don't know why I said that. How you doing?
I'm pretty good.
All right. So thank you everybody for watching. Stay tuned for our 100th video extravaganza coming up very soon.
Very soon indeed.
And,
indeed.
It's gonna be a blast.
Yeah, This
has been the best 5 minutes.